Well then, this is not what I was expecting to wake up to. Help me, dogs. That is certainly one way to wake up in the morning. Certainly was not expecting that, though. Alrighty. So, it's morning. We had a bit of a, shall we say, climactic night. We lost some dogs, and yeah, I think we're all aware of the sacrifices we had to make. However, I did notice something. The night lasted an unusually long period of time. I don't know if this is a prelude to what's coming, but I have a bad feeling about this. Something is happening to this world, and I have a feeling it has something to do with the influence of God. Furthermore, this world seems to be far more treacherous, with pits and holes leading down into the underground everywhere. I have a bad feeling about this. And the longer that I continue to live in this world, the more I realize that my fears, they just might be founded. In fact. However, we're already here, and I see no reason to evacuate this reality. I'm hoping that simply won't have to become a regular thing. For now, though, I need to keep moving. I need to find locations. I don't think it's wise for me to sit down in one location and stay there. I think what I should do is set up outposts. Locations that I can go to if things get sketchy, or simply just to focus my thoughts on one specific topic. The reasoning why I plan on doing this is because this world is unusual. And I need to start figuring out what is in this world. What makes it so different? What makes it so dangerous? What makes it so unique? For that purpose, I think we're just going to continue to stay on the move. We have our backpacks. We can certainly store a plethora of supplies within it. So, with that in mind, I see no reason for us to settle down in one location, other than for the simple fact of focusing our thoughts on a specific thing in a specific location. Now, I recently had a stroke of genius. These creatures that continue to attack us, the same ones that existed in our previous dimension, our previous world, I bet you that they have parts, shall we say, that we can utilize to strengthen ourselves and keep ourselves alive. Now, this may be a bit gruesome, but at some point, survival needs to be a necessity over ethics. And whilst typically ethics is incredibly important, we're also seemingly the only person here. At least the only person who is advanced as us. There's obviously the villagers living in their villages, but they seem to be more focused on a peaceful, primitive life, shall we say. We, however, need to survive. We need to prosper, and we need to advance. As a result, as morbid as it may be, I believe it's going to be in our best interest to utilize, how shall I say, parts from monsters to strengthen ourselves, gain their advantages, and hopefully none of the disadvantages. But first, I need to find a good location. I have a feeling that I'm going to be here for the long haul, which means that there's really no reason for me to make some shitty little shack out in the middle of nowhere. I want to focus on aesthetics. After all, like I just said, I plan on being here for quite a while, so long as no horrific things decide to come after me. So far, so good. We haven't seen a single one of the entities that God unleashed on us in the previous world. But that doesn't necessarily mean that this world is safe, especially from them. The further I go, the more this world seems just broken. In ways that I can't quite describe. I mean, look at this. What type of events have to occur for a world to become this? It must have been a cataclysmic event. Perhaps one involving our ever so familiar friend, God. But I can't make assumptions. Something else could have happened to this world. Something outside of even God's control. And if that's the case, then we need to stay alert. Although I will say, if the world wasn't so destroyed, it would certainly be easier for us to get around and go wherever we need to go. Good Lord, look at this. Other than looking incredible, it's a very dangerous. Dog's trying to kill me. Is there any way for me to get farther without falling into the abyss? I think we're gonna hit a dead end here soon. I don't know if I can make that. Dog, you better not shove me off. Is there any point to going to this little island? Well, at least it gets us one step closer. Dogs, please don't do that. I hear sheep. I could... Whoa. That's not supposed to happen. Alright. I feel like it's just getting worse. Sheep. There's the sheep. It's not the sheep I was hearing, but it's sheep nonetheless. I appreciate your sacrifice. You will be remembered. Chicken. I do need chicken as well. I need all kinds of meat. I need animal parts before I can start getting creature parts, as once again, morbid as that is. This seems familiar. Ah. Yeah, probably shouldn't mess with those again. Just because we won last time doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to win the next time. Farm down there. An interesting tower here. Another tower over there. Okay, dog, I understand. You're hurt. But there's not a whole hell of a lot I can do. There. Okay, you both seem like you're fine now. Oh no. Oh no. No, let me out. Even over here, the world is broken. Seriously, what happened to this world? What cataclysmic event could cause this level of terrain deformation? Whatever it is, I hope I never encounter it. If this keeps up, there may not be any safe place to settle. We're gonna need some fairly open ground. And stable ground at that. Wonder if there's any way that we could create flight for ourselves. Because with how broken up the world is, flight would certainly be an advantage. Although I suspect that such a thing is probably well outside our realm of capabilities. That being said, I'm currently working on some designs that I think could prove incredibly useful to us. But I still need more time to think of these things. Not only that, but we need to find a very special resource. And if it exists, then I can really start moving forward with these plans. But until we find such resources, I'm afraid there's not much that we can do. These dogs are annoyingly in the way. Get out of the way! And this area seems pretty stable. There's a ship. I assume that's probably pirates. Not only that, but this area is quite scenic. Oh, and there's even an abandoned mine shaft. This could be a potentially really good location for an outpost. Not only that, but the land being stable as it is in this area, it will provide plentiful space for, shall we say, test subjects, as well as gathering supplies. Alright, let's see here. We need sticks. Do I have sticks, or did I get rid of all my sticks? Do I even have wood? I have wood. Okay, good. Okay, it looks like I got rid of all my sticks. That's a bit unfortunate, but whatever. I don't actually know. I might need spider eyes. I don't think I'm going to need wool, though. And even if I do, I'm pretty sure I can find more. Alright. Workbench down. You guys come here and sit. That way you're not constantly in my way. Come on. Go over to your parents. This takes forever. No, you're about to become full grown too. Andy. Who is crying? None of you should be crying. Alright, let's also place down this way shrine. Unfortunately, we're going to have to either craft one ourselves or find another one. And we'll probably need multiple of these. I want outposts at different locations of the world. That way I can observe how the world is interacting with itself. So let's put this down. And we'll say... This is technically a form of magic, biomancy. Despite the fact that it is considered to be incredibly dubious by... I can hardly even see the rain. You see, we still cannot see ourselves on the map. That's fantastic. Might as well just make them all. Maybe we should take out this entire layer as well. There's snow falling? Oh, there's lots of snow falling. What is going on? It's raining, not snowing. I think the world is confused. Something unusual is certainly happening. It still appears to be morning. We should be well into the day at this point. I have a bad feeling about this. Alright, dogs, you're about to go for a little bit of a trip. Promise you, though, it's safe. Hey, you're fully grown up. See, that wasn't so bad. I have to say, this is a substantial amount of excavating. What the hell? We're being attacked by dragonflies now? Okay, I don't think we're gonna need this dirt. In fact, I can confidently say we're not gonna need the dirt. That being said, I would very much like it if we would not have any snow. Seems like a good amount of light. I'll have to move this again. There we go. The Biomancy outpost is... doesn't look good, but it's up and running. At the very minimum. Now then. I need one of these, a primordial core. As gruesome of an item as it is, it will provide a whole host of different capabilities for us. Ah, I need to run flesh. That's a problem. That's potentially a very big problem. Time doesn't seem to flow the way that it normally does now. So it might be more difficult to get these resources that we need. Is there a cave nearby? Of course there is. There's a mine shaft right here. Probably take one of the torches. Actually, I have sticks on me. Coal. Perfect. Oh! Nothing puts fear in you quite like falling from a great height. Like that. Well, that's ominous. Why is it red? Outward railing. There's a chest. Anything interesting? Glow sticks. Not super useful. A parachute. Fancy. All these power rails, why are they active? And more importantly, how are they active? More resources. I mean, I'll never turn them down, but a dust bun? Interact to break. Okie dokie. I don't mind if I do. Wait, what? Oh, it goes in my hand. Oh, that's unfortunate. To get a stick. Raw gold nugget. String. A feather. Another feather and more string. Interesting. Not very helpful, though. Oh, God. Thankfully, that was fairly easy for us to deal with. Time to go down to Spider Hill. There we go. That could have been bad. Came down here for this. String, don't need it. That's the worst than what I have. Another backpack, I'll never say no. Ooh, a tarot card. The Hanged Man. 50% damage taken is gained as experience. I mean, I won't say no. Another chest. Another parachute. Interesting. Plastic drinking helmet. You know what? Sure. Okay. Looks like a weird respirator. Waste not the torch. Just the creature I was looking for. And you didn't give me what I need. What about you? Nope. There's a slime in there. Can I have some slime balls, please? Thank you. As cruel of a comment as it is, I don't like the fact that you exist. Good old rotten flesh. Just what we needed. Truly. Just what we needed. Oh, that's problematic. There we go. We're hunting for zombies right now, which normally isn't something that you hunt for. But we have our reasons. That's scary. I don't think the skeleton is following us. At least I hope he's not. I realize now that I'm an idiot. We're a shulk. Or at least some subspecies of shulk. We can just mine with our fist. At least when it comes to stone. I have a feeling that the iron that is supposed to be here is not here. Which is unfortunate. Because we do kind of need iron. And we're likely to need a lot of it. But, oh well. You win some, you lose some. That's unfortunate. We're out of torches. Ooh, is that gold? It does appear to be gold. Ah, here we go. I don't know how valuable gold is going to be to us, but every resource counts. After all, they say that gold is the envy of every man. And whilst I may not know the opinions of every man, I do know that some things are definitely crutches to people. And I believe that gold is most likely one of them. Not that I can blame them. After all, its alluring shine, it makes a lot of sense why people would be obsessed with a resource. I, however, would not say that I am the same. Oh, almost forgot a torch. Incredibly dark. That's a bomb with legs. Don't exactly like the prospect of it being nearby, but nevertheless, it is. What's up here? Torches. I wonder why this area was lit up. That being said, I won't turn down some free torches. Just a whole bunch of dead ends. This one appears to have coal in it, but we're not in a super big need for coal. The same goes with copper and zinc. In fact, I don't even know that I have any blueprints that involve zinc. I hear a chicken. I also hear a baby zombie. I think it might be a chicken jockey. You don't find those every day. Bad bomb on legs. Ooh, iron. Never turn down some free resources. That's a good code to live by. More zinc and another dead end. The more iron. It's unfortunate. There we go. We are getting a little bit distracted, though. This wasn't the original purpose for why we came down here. The original purpose was to find some zombies, because we require some flesh from them. As once again, as gruesome as it is. There's a reason why this type of magic isn't widely considered to be acceptable, as it is dubious by its very nature. That being said, I like to think of myself as a rather well-versed amateur mage. And if it gives us an advantage, I say that it's worth our time. Even if the advantage is ever so slightly minor, an advantage is still an advantage. A boon is still a boon, even if it's one that we won't use forever, or one that we eventually abandon. Unfortunately, this seems like that's all this abandoned mineshaft has to offer us. Now the hard part is going to be getting out. Oh god. My parkour tendencies are going to get me killed one of these days. Ah, good. It's still raining. There we go. Let's make ourselves a little hut. We can make it look better in the future. Right now, it would feel much better not being in the rain. Come on, dog. Get inside. Well, that's unfortunate. I have to go and get some more wood. As I said, it doesn't have to look great right now. What it needs to do is get us out of the rain. Anything else for right this second is purely immaterial. Plant the sapling. I have a feeling we're going to need a lot of wood. And having an excess of any given resource is never a bad thing. As long as it doesn't become a problem, I suppose. We're going to have to go even further out to get more wood. Is it just me or is it becoming dark out? I think it's just simply because of the rain. Hold on. Is that a village? There we go. Take the saplings. The closer they are to the outpost, the more convenient it will be. Your chicken. Your sacrifice will not be in vain. There really is something eerie about this world. I'm so used to being chased around by horrific monstrosities. It's the fact that this world is seemingly so peaceful is unnerving, to say the least. I keep expecting to be attacked at any moment, yet nothing ever comes. Is that paranoia? Or simply just learning from past experiences? Well, it's coming together, sort of. Not exactly incredible or stellar, but it's better than being out in the rain, at the very least. And should the denizens of the night decide to come and say hello to us, we at the very least have some very rudimentary defenses. Assuming, of course, once again, that the horrors of the night that we experienced in the past don't come to the present. I would be more than happy with leaving the past where it belongs. In the past. How many saplings does that give us? Only 2 so far? Well, every sapling counts, and 15 logs should be enough wood to finish off, at the very least, the most basic of buildings. It's also nice to know that... Oh. Hello, friend. I don't know where you are. It's also nice to know that right next to the outpost is another one of these gateways to the edge of nowhere. Gateway to Limbo. Hopefully, we never have to go back to that nightmare realm. However, anything is a possibility, and having it nearby is never a bad thing, just in case something bad does happen. There we go. That should be more than enough wood. And get a few doors. Perfect. Oh, that's interesting. Interesting and handy. Good to know at the very least. Unfortunately, because the dogs are here, I can't actually dig up the snow, which makes no sense, but whatever. They certainly do appear to have some very weird dogs. I have to say, with my accuracy, I'd be a legend in the snowball fight. Okay, so there's no point in keeping all of our supplies on us at all times. Especially some of the, shall we say, less important pieces of equipment. Now, that being said, let's make this primordial core, as this will unlock a world of possibilities. Nope. Ah. Yeah, that's a problem. Have I seriously not attacked any pigs? Or, well, harvested any pigs? I don't appear to have. That's concerning. Okay, I guess it's time for a grand adventure to find us some pigs. What is that sound? I think I'm just becoming paranoid. I swear that I hear something, almost as if there is a sound of static. I must just be imagining it. Alright, time for a grand adventure to find us some pigs, of all things. These flowers are bizarre. I will say this world seems to be largely devoid of all life. Oh hey, never mind, there's some pigs. What I mean by that is even the wildlife seems to be uncommon, even rare. It's only adding to this uneasy, unnerving feeling I have. However, look on the bright side. We now have all of the meat that we could possibly need. And I did hear another chicken nearby. Chicken is important because we only ever get one. Where did the chicken go? Where did the chicken go? Where did the chicken go? Is that a chicken over here? Nope. Oh well. I have more important things to be doing. There it is again, that strange static sound. I think I'm just losing my mind. At least, I hope that's what the answer is. Because if it turns out to be something else entirely, this may not end well. There we go. Primordial core. Now with the primordial core, we're going to make a primordial cradle. It appears as though any type of meat. No, wait. We need to make something else with the primordial core. This, the flesh plunderer, is what we actually need. Any type of meat with 3 bones. I know that we have bones. There we go. There we go. Flesh plunderer. Greedy butcher. That's a lovely name. Now, unfortunately, it is weaker. Actually, it's about the same. It actually attacks even faster? No, slower. Alright. Now it's time. Yeah, this is strange. It's still morning. Something is wrong with this world. It should be well into nighttime at this point. Oh, regardless. Let's find us some creatures. Ideally, some denizens of the night. But some passive creatures could also work. Now, you're a spider. I don't know where the spider is, but I hear the spider. Broken world is here. Probably best if we don't go down there. I don't know that we can get back out. So for now, we'll go back into the mine shaft and go into some of the areas that aren't quite so bright and cheerful. Down we go. There is something terrifying about that. I suppose it'd be weird if it wasn't terrifying. A spider. Multiple spiders. Oh! There we go. We got some sinew. Not the most important of resources from these creatures, but still something. Better than nothing. At the very least. I'm starting to wonder if maybe I should be taking these minecarts of TNT. TNT could be useful in the future, depending on what happens to us. I wonder if there's a way that I can take the TNT out of the minecart. That would be far more useful. But, regard. I didn't realize that one of the denizens of the Nether was here. I also don't know where he is. What is this? Oh. Ow. Oh, it's you. He didn't give us the item. However, we did get some more stuff. Bone marrow. We are becoming a gruesome butcher. Oh, well, that's unfortunate. I know I put the sticks in here. We don't have a crafting table. But I know how we can get one. There we go. Look, a crafting table on demand. This is why it pays to be prepared. And we'll just be taking this with us. I'm sure lapis will be invaluable later on, so it's worth us getting it now. Despite the fact that we can't use it in this raw state. Even more iron. And some gold. Never turned down either. You never know when you might need one of them. So it's best just to be prepared and always have it. There's also some redstone down there, but I don't know that we can get down there without drowning. Or at the very least, I don't know that we can get it without drowning. There's more gold right there. Lots of copper as well. Unfortunately, it's just a bit too low for my liking. We might come back for it at a later time. But at the very least, it's good to know that it's there. We need sharp fangs. Which, now that I think about it, likely will come from either spiders or wolves. So it might actually be pointless for us to be down here. That being said, we could find spiders down here. Almost sounded like something was digging there. Let's just leave before we find out what made that noise. That said, I am feeling a little fatigued. I think it might be time for us to rest for a little bit. Despite the fact that it's still only morning. Something is certainly happening to this world. And whether it be for better or worse, I'm still not entirely certain. One can only hope that it's for better. But I can't help but be worried that it's for the worse. I guess at the end of the day, we will find out. Let's also put down a bed in here. Actually have a place that we can fully rest, sleep. Alright. I think while we wait here for the sun to continue to rise, we take some time and relax. We've done quite a bit so far. We did a lot of journeying, we did some fighting, and it's certainly, I can certainly feel it in my bones. So we're gonna sit inside of the outpost proper with the dogs and just relax a bit.